One, two, three. What's up, y'all? Thanks so much for checking out this video. Now, before we get into the actual lesson, I just want to talk to you guys for a minute about how I recommend that you go about learning this arrangement of Black Diamond. So the first thing you want to do is you want to scroll down to the description section and go ahead and download the tab I've made for this tune. It's totally free, and I think it's going to be really helpful for you as you work through this arrangement to visualize each measure and keep track of things. So I'm a huge proponent of tab. I use it with all my students, and if you're an experienced tab reader, great, go ahead and use it. If you're new to tab or you're kind of unsure about it, it can be a little bit slow at first, but you know, what better opportunity than right now to jump in there and get some experience using it. You're going to be really glad you did further on down the road. The second thing I want to make you guys aware of is a really useful tool for learning from YouTube videos and transcribing, and that tool is the playback speed tool within the YouTube app. So what this does is it slows down videos or speeds them up if you want, but what's most useful is slowing them down. So what you can do is, if you look in the bottom right hand corner of your YouTube window, there's going to be a little drop down, a little downward facing arrow that's a drop down menu, and if you click on that and scroll down to playback speed, you're gonna be able to change the playback speed to 75%, 50%, or 25%. That's a super useful tool. Okay, you can use that on any video on YouTube. Okay, but it's super useful for transcribing. So how I would use that for this video is I would rewind back to the beginning of the video where I'm playing the tune at full speed, and then go ahead and change the playback speed to 50 or 25%, and then you'll really be able to see everything happening at a much slower pace, and you can learn from that. So following along with a slowed down version of the full speed arrangement with the tab in front of you is how I recommend you go about this. Thirdly, this is going to be the first in what I hope will be a series of free banjo lessons that I'm going to be putting up on my YouTube channel. And I just want to get some folks excited about these tunes that I've been working on lately, and hopefully build a little bit of an online community where we can learn these arrangements together and talk about them and nerd out about banjo stuff. So I'm hoping to create a little bit of a forum here. So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment or a question in the comment section, and I will get back to you. And finally, enjoy Black Diamond and have fun. Thanks. So now that you guys have the tab printed out and you're referencing that, let's go ahead and take a look at the first measure of the arrangement, which is the pickup lick, which sounds like this. So what that is it's a series of pinches. So the first two notes are a pinch. I'm playing the first fret on the second string and the second fret on the first string, and this just gives you the top two notes of a C major triad. And we're in the key of C, so this is a very obvious way to start the tune. It establishes the tonality. So we play this lick. So then an open third string, which is G, and then two more pinches. But this time I'm going to be fretting the second fret on the third string and playing the open first string, and then moving up a whole step and doing the same thing with my middle finger on the fourth fret of the third string, and again the open first string. So putting that all together, it sounds like this. And that lick sets up the tune. So now that we've learned the pickup lick to Black Diamond, let's get into the first few measures. So we're going to be starting up here on this C chord on the 5th fret. And if you notice in my left hand, I'm using my middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger to fret all those 5th frets up there. And in my right hand, we're going to be using a forward-backward roll, which is thumb, index, middle, thumb, and then a backward roll starting on the middle finger. So middle, index, thumb, middle. Okay, forward, backward. Okay, and we're going to be using that same roll for the next however many measures until we get down to this D minor chord. And so starting up here on the C chord, forward, backward. And then we're going to shift to a G7 position. So you're going to place your middle finger here on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and you're going to bar the 3rd frets of the 1st and 2nd string. And play your good old forward, backward roll. Okay, so one more time, starting on the C, backward, forward, backward. Moving down to an A minor. Notice how that middle finger doesn't lift up off the 3rd string, and we're using it as a guide finger. So A minor, forward, backward. And then when we get to the C chord, you play the forward roll. But when you play the backward roll, you're going to shift up a set of 3 strings. Okay, so where you would normally just play on the same 3 strings for the backward roll, what Don Stover does to mix it up and get more sound out of the banjo is use some different strings on the way down, because why not? So forward, backward, forward, and then middle, index, thumb, middle on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. Okay? So putting it all together, what we have so far. Okay, next up we have this F chord with a forward, backward roll. So you might have noticed there's something different about that, and what's different is we're not using this 5th string for this one. We're using the 3rd string as sort of the pivot point between the forward and the backward roll. So thumb, index, middle, thumb plucks the 3rd string, and then a backward roll on those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, okay? That can be a little tricky at first if you've been used to playing these forward, backward rolls up here on the cozy 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings, but once you get it under your fingers, it's really cool and useful to mix it up. Okay, so there's the F. Next up is an E minor. Again, a slightly different choice of strings, but the same roll pattern. So thumb, index, middle, outlining this E minor shape here. So 2nd fret, 4th string, open B string or 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 1st string, 5th string, and then backward roll, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. So forward, backward, forward, and then we get to this D chord, and then we start using a different roll. So now we're going to outline this D minor chord with a series of forward rolls. So I'll play those measures for you. Okay, so we're just down here using this D minor shape, this 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 3rd frets on the 1st and 2nd strings. You start with a quarter note, and then you start forward rolling, okay? So forward rolls is a 3-note roll. So it's just index, or thumb, index, middle, in any order, okay? It can start on the thumb and proceed forward that way. It can start on the index and proceed forward that way, or it can start on the middle finger, okay? In this case, it starts with the middle finger. Forward, forward, Okay, so the only thing that's different about each of those rolls is where the thumb is falling, okay? First it falls on the third string. And then we play the open fourth string, and then the third string again, and then the open fifth string. All right, so all that together. All right, and this is another example of just great bluegrass arranging, because it gives, by alternating where that thumb falls, you use more open strings of the banjo and just get a fuller sound out of it, okay? So we can thank Don Stover for being so hip in his use of the forward roll. So after the D minor, we arrive at this pretty long section of just a bunch of G, okay? And I'm gonna play those measures for you. So in context, coming out of the D minor, so just to back up and break that into digestible portions, let's start with the first measure. So, okay. That's just an open first string quarter note, followed by an open second string and an open first string. All right, using middle and index fingers for those. Middle, index, middle. And then we're going to play what's sort of a melodic lick using a forward roll in the right hand. Okay, so 5th fret here in the 3rd string, open 2nd string, thumb in the right hand, and then 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then an open 1st string. Alternating thumb roll. What I say when I say alternating thumb roll, what I mean is thumb, index, thumb, middle. Thumb, index, middle. Thumb, index, thumb, middle. Okay? And then a Scruggs lick. And that's again 2 alternating thumb rolls. Thumb, index, thumb, middle. Okay, for that Scruggs lick where I'm sliding from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, excuse me. And then we get a little single string action going on there where I'm playing thumb, index, thumb, middle. But in the left hand, we're just playing 2nd fret, 3rd string, open 3rd string, 2nd fret, 4th string, open 1st string. Okay, so backing up. And then we get into this more use of the forward roll to really create some cool syncopation. So that's 4 forward rolls all in a row, and what's going on in the left hand is I'm just sliding from the 2nd fret into this 3rd fret. Followed by an alternating thumb roll, and shifting up chromatically between this 3rd and 4th fret in between the rolls. So thumb, index, thumb, middle, all right, on the 1st, 3rd, and 4th strings there. And then the same kind of idea up here, sliding from the 4th to the 5th fret. And then just the reverse of what we did ascending. We're going to do descending when we shift chromatically from the 4th fret to the 3rd fret. And then that sets us up really nicely for this C, back to the C chord. Okay? And we're coming up on the first repeat, so we've almost played half the arrangement. So just to back up. To round it out, we we just have a few forward rolls on this C shape. And then those pinches from the intro lick, the pickup lick, if you will. And just a little hammer on here in this C lick here. Hammer. So forward, hammer. Okay? So now we've made it halfway through the arrangement. Okay, so we've made it to this C lick. We have our pickup notes yet again. And then what happens in the tune is the whole first part repeats all over again. So you play this descending idea yet again. And right there is where it changes, okay? So in the first time on that D minor bit, you played all forward rolls, okay? So you play forward, okay? But this time, in order to set up the F chord where we're heading to, we need to use an alternating thumb roll so that our thumb will be available to play the first note of the F idea. So all you do is play the same thing, and then an alternating thumb roll starting on the 5th string. And that brings us to this F lick. Okay, so what that is I'm sliding into this 2nd fret on the 3rd string and just playing a forward roll followed by a middle and index pinch right at the end. So forward, pinch. And then we have this hammer-on lick, all right, where I'm hammering from the 1st fret of this F shape into the 3rd fret, you know, hammering with my ring finger here. Okay, and I'm really trying to get that hammer-on to land at the same time that I pluck the F note on the 1st string, okay? It's a little tricky at first, but that's really the sound you want. That's kind of how Earl did it. That's how Don Stover did it. It's not a 16th note hammer-on, okay? That would be... Which sounds cool and has its own flavor, but what Don Stover plays is the 8th note hammer-on. It's that. Alright, and then we get into this cool C bluesy bending lick where, and it sounds like this. It's sort of a transition down to this A chord that's coming up next. So in order to play this C bending blues lick, okay, you're going to fret the 4th fret with your ring finger, 2nd fret on the 1st string with your index, and you're going to use a Foggy Mountain breakdown roll in your right hand. And a Foggy Mountain breakdown roll is index index middle, thumb middle. Alright? And you're bending this 4th fret up a half step. Alright, really cool sound. Coming out of the bending lick, you're going to play an alternating thumb roll. And that sounds really weird out of context, but that's how he shifts from this lick down to this A position, all right? So alternating thumb roll starting on the 5th string. Index finger plays the open 2nd string. Thumb plays the 3rd fret, 3rd string. Middle plays the open 1st string. And then a good old forward backward roll. A little out of tune here, but we'll push on. And then we've got this D lick here. All alternating thumb rolls. Okay, thumb, index, thumb, middle. Outlining this lower part of this D chord here. I'm using my pinky for these 4th frets. And then this G lick. Okay, in order to transition back up to the C shape. So backing up to the D lick, Scruggs lick on G. Okay, and that's a alternating thumb roll with the 2-3 slide, and then a forward roll with also with the 2-3 slide. And that's sort of a classic transition lick from G to C. Okay, although in this case we're gonna do the G lick forward, right into a Foggy Mountain breakdown roll on the C position. Okay, so okay, and so that's index, middle, thumb, middle, and then the single string lick, which is actually just a alternating thumb roll. Okay, I'm using my pinky to fret that 3rd fret. I'm leaving my index finger down there. Alright? I'm leaving this C shape, but I'm just reaching over with my pinky and grabbing that note. And then I'm also reaching over with my middle to grab that A note, the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So backing up from the G. And then the same G lick again. And this time we land on that pinch. The 1st fret 2nd string, 2nd fret 1st string. Index and middle in the right hand. So backing up from the D lick. Okay, and that's the whole arrangement. That's Black Diamond.